And then they told us when we got there that they're gonna feed us, but for appetizers, they had crab cakes and prime rib. And then we had a strawberry walnut salad. And these were all big bowls to help yourself. And then we had golden Yukon potatoes, mashed potatoes, and grilled vegetables, and grilled corn on the cob. And then they brought out short ribs. And then they brought out these big old filet mignons, this huge fillets.
What was this?
It was at a Lavender Farm in Eastern Isle, and it was all, I mean, just all you could eat.
Bring a toaster. That sounds amazing.
And the price was wonderful, free. And then they had open bar.
Which
Jeez.
is this?
It's for free. It's amazing.
And so the table I sat with was Adam Wainwright. And then there was a gal that got second place on The Voice. And she had a hell of a set of women. She got up and sang too. She sang Hallelujah. Holy, what she could carry a tune for just.
I was like.
Then there was this gal that was the opening act for Jelly Roll. And then there was another guy that had like a #1 hit in country music.
So. What were you doing there then?
I was on my way to go scuba diving in Wisconsin and just got drug into the.
Yeah, lucky you, man.
Sounds like a good thing to get drug into.
Yeah, exactly.
So some guy was telling me, he said, man, he says, I got car troubles. And I'm like, well, what kind of car is it? Maybe I can help you figure it out. He says, what's one of my Ferraris? Well, never mind.
Yeah. And then.
Never mind. So anyway, with Adam, I was giving him shit. And this guy bought this cowboy hat signed by Garth Brooks, I believe it was. Anyway, paid $10,000 for this hat. And I took it over to him and he says, I don't want the damn hat. He says, I just want to donate 10,000. I'm like, well, thank you. And so then they put it up for auction and Adam bought it for $5. And I'm sitting there giving him hell. I said, I can just see you down there on your old farm wall fee on the farm wearing your hat and just a whistling along. So it was just fun to do.
That's really cool. I was like, wow. That cool. Well.
But you know, that goes into my file of people that I didn't know who they were.
Northwest. Baseball player that.
I was in the elevator with Cheryl Crow one day,
So I'm like.
and she looked like she's having a bad day, and I said, gosh, somebody's having a bad day. And she looked at me and she says, do you know who I am? No clue, lady. She says, why Cheryl Crow? Well, John Murphy, nice to meet you. Well,
Yes, I was there and I was quite.
so I crossed my wife and I said, have you ever heard of a lady by the name of Cheryl Crow? I had no clue who she was.
This week, maybe, just so it's. But. Just taking.
I did figure out who Dan Quayle was when the vice presidential went.
Locked or any.
Emerson Bell.
So. Probably some.
Generally, people don't ring a bell with me.
I didn't talk.
Yeah.
Is that? I don't know about.
Yeah, that'll work, I'm ready to send in the. I've never had done.
I'm sure. He only has funny characters.
Right.
I'll show you where
We got it
on the agenda, yeah.
And I did ask, today, I said,
Remind me of that next time I see something about this.
It'll
It'll be 3 months, so I'll forget.
Thanks, Heather.
Oh, speaking of that,
Say with the original.
I just finished up a.
Probably only have.
Yeah.
200.
because I have a guy that's like, watches tonight, that's what I'm gonna get. I mean, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, but it was still lagging our team pretty well.
It might be at the.
But-
We're gonna share.
It's 44 degrees.
That's so holy cow.
Down.
You can go up a nice 9 foot per
What a task.
No, I know, but just like basically, yeah, watching live on YouTube, under.
But I know the system, I know.
It's gonna be fun, like, stops in 2 minutes. Just stay on the safe side later.
I just.
Lot of gas off, and then 20 foot level, you stop at 3.
Yeah, they're the, school was based on that.
But I went down. Well, a couple of months ago. Yes, it was Memorial Day. Well, I got 85 foot and I ran out there to be in this tree. That's
Fun.
Then it's like, I realized, yeah, I got a ways, I guess.
Good evening.
But then-
How are ya?
It's a great thing.
Carry.
No, but I wasn't super impressed with either team, to be honest.
Hard.
So I was not surprised by the outcome.
Yeah.
And here's this phone, I tried to keep it on, I said, I continue dying on me.
Hey.
The score.
Yeah,
Versus, so like, I get a free cup of coffee.
good for you.
It's wonderful.
My husband loves to do online betting, like not big dollars, but he likes to have a stake in all the things. And so
He
he
made the
frequently
Angie State of
like vote
Gateway
bet
Center
against his team,
holiday.
like the Bears, for example, last night. So he was really upset that they lost, but also he won money. He's like,
I wonder.
I went to sleep and he goes.
Yeah, it was amazing. She nominated, she knew that I had it.
Thank
So she said, you have to put on, I come out here and be a fellow. So now they're awesome. And so they come up, they get the luggage into the room, then his wife put up the.
The one team that he does not want them to lose to, because
They had the diet.
he's got a buddy who's a big Vikings.
Just. So we probably get them all situated, I did all kinds of stuff like that, yeah, it was probably a half an hour, 45 minutes to get them center. And I finally said, sir, I said, you need anything else? He says, no, I've got it, thank you. I started to walk off and he says, just a minute, son, and he pulled out one of the cheap coin, plastic coin purses like you get from the bank.
Right.
And he opens it up and pulls out 50 cents. And I looked at him, I said, no, sir, I said, you can post the use that.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually protect him all. So he was on the phone to my wife, demanding that I advise him for the way that I treated him. And my wife's trying to like, because she's like, oh no, I shouldn't have let him go do this. It's work for us. But he's the name.
Just joking. I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she brought me out there when Clinton and Gore were in town.
Okay.
But when Bush was there, he didn't pay his bill and stiffed the hotel. So they told him money up front. So anyway, they came, they checked in the rooms and went to the state. And they hadn't paid the bill yet, so I took the electronic key card readers, just changed the locks. And Secret Service says, you will unlock that, that's another national security. I said, no, what's the matter, getting paid? Pay your bill and I'll let you in. So they put it on the credit card. But other ones, the government doesn't pay. They were horrible about paying their bills.
Yeah.
Do not ever bill anything to the government
Oh, gosh.
on the federal level. I think that's local people pay on it.
Yeah. Bad. I should have the.
There should be a rule against it, shouldn't there?
I can use some sidewalks pretty basic, but there's.
So anyway, in her day, I was well up for Moxie.
Just see famous.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Boris, how are you? Yeah.
Were you gonna send out an invite, calendar invite for that meeting with the county?
It was a lot.
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can do that. We're gonna meet here.
And that's what's still.
Okay. So I had circulated that back to Crystal, like
Yeah.
confirming that time, and I have not heard anything.
Oh.
So
Okay, maybe if
I
you.
get the sense she's pissed at us. I'm
We
like,
had nice
I'm like,
conversations.
wait, I'm trying to get this done. She's like, this has been out for almost a year. I'm like, sorry.
Or 15 years.
Right. Anyways, she's irritated.
Yeah. Part of my irritation too is that she's sounding like she just found out about this, but you see those emails to Darren Moon, the county engineer.
Right.
It's like Darren's known about this for 15 years, but
I think she is newly tasked with this because she's got another one that she's found in the on innovation. So, and she fully admitted the first time I talked with her, I don't know, for the spring sometime. She's like, I don't do this kind of work. Like I'm learning this kind of work. So I think she's just, I don't know if she's on the criminal side and has now been plugged into the civil side and she's trying to figure it out, but yeah, when I talked to her, she was very short. I'm like, okay, I was like trying to have pleasantries and there's none of that to have, so,
Okay.
yeah, so just keep plugging along.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not signing it in its current state,
That's
so
why
he can be mad if he wants to be mad.
Through the cleanup list to see what he said, I was gonna do that after the meeting.
They've done the ceilings on the floor.
I'm tired of.
What's the other thing?
They're gonna drill the holes in the cabinet inside,
Well,
and make
you
sure
with
it's
us?
green.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
I will look. I can't remember.
We're aligned and
Okay.
vertical.
The other thing they.
Okay. See if they drill the holes. Yeah.
Thank you very much. The time is 6 p.m. I will call to order the Tuesday, September 9th meeting of the Huxley City Council. We are streaming live on YouTube as per usual. I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Murphy,
Here.
Mulder,
Here.
Rigler,
Here.
Etcher,
Here.
Roberts.
Moving along, I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Give you a motion.
Motion by Roberts,
I'll offer a second.
second by Rigler. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now is the time in the agenda for public comment. Anybody wishing to make any comments on any agenda or non-agenda items is certainly welcome to do so at this time. Just ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes and start with introducing yourself. Anybody wishing to speak this evening? Okay. Seeing no one rise. I'd ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll offer a motion.
Motion, Mr. Rigler.
Second.
Second, Mr. Mulder. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Rigler,
Yes.
Etcher,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Mulder,
Yes.
Thank you very much. Item 5A this evening is resolution number 25088. It's a resolution authorizing and approving a loan agreement providing for issuance of a $5.15 million GO Urban Renewal Bond Series 2025A and providing for the levy of taxes to pay. Need a motion.
I'll give you a motion.
Motion, Mr. Murphy.
Second.
Second, Ms. Roberts.
Good evening, Chip Schultz with Northland. So the purpose of the resolution is basically to formalize the interest rates and maturity structure that we talked about at the August 26th council meeting. The authorizing resolution is basically the contract between the city and bondholders. And with approval of the resolution, the closing date of September 25th, the city will receive funds on that date and will be ready to go forward. So happy to answer any questions after that summary. Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Murphy,
Yes.
Mulder,
Yes.
Etcher,
Yes.
Rigler,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Moving along, item 5B this evening is resolution number 25089. It's a resolution approving and accepting the easements and plat of survey for the McDonald's restaurant. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Mr. Etcher.
Make it a second.
Second, Mr. Mulder. Any questions, comments, discussion?
I would just note that the plat of survey and the easements have been reviewed by legal counsel as well as staff and forest. Everything seems to be in order. Did get a note from Patrick O'Leary with Madrid Homes. They looked at the easements. They'll be signing it. There's a couple of those in there that they have to sign that will get recorded, and they're all good with it to go. So you should be set.
Just want to make sure we get all of our, that we discussed at the last meeting in there, the fencing, yep.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler's here this evening. Tyler was here representing the company, so, and he's shaking his head, yes, that
We have not seen the revised set of plans yet.
That should be sent in, we added fencing, landscaping along the east and along the north.
Okay, thanks.
Any additional comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Etcher,
yes.
Roberts,
Yes,
Murphy,
Yes.
Mulder,
Yes.
Rigler,
Yes.
All right, moving along. Item 5C this evening, need a motion to approve resolution 25090. It's a resolution approving a RISE grant application for immediate opportunity funding and accepting responsibility for public infrastructure improvements of 560th. Need a motion? Motion, Mr. Mulder.
Second.
Second, Mr. Etcher.
We have the grant has been submitted to the DOT staff for review. We said we would follow up with the signed resolution if you approved it this evening. The project for the two roads for 560th and then paving the yet to be named road running east-west to the site is a little over 2.1 million. We're requesting just under 1.7 million in RISE, and the remainder will be probably a combination, a little bit from the company and the city as well, so.
For those in the public, this will be 560th Avenue from 210 south to where the pavement currently stops,
Nope,
correct?
no, it's gonna
Just
go,
to the-
it's gonna go a half mile.
Half mile, okay,
We'll have about half of that last mile.
okay, thank you.
Could we, and I know it's not part of this actual resolution, but it's part of this, could we actually look at paving the rest of that half mile at the same time? I mean, could we look at what we need to do that? We know 210's going down at 69 somewhere in the near future for a roundabout. Our citizens already have a heck of a trouble getting out of Huxley with everything else going on. I just as soon fix a problem before we have the problem.
It's fair comment. That section would be county still on both sides.
That is still county on both sides.
We can fix that.
Oh, correct. Yeah, there's opportunities there. I think Mr. Mulder will chime in and tell you it's never going to be cheaper to pave than right now when you've already mobilized, so.
The other problem with that is also that the mayor, I and Councilman Mulder went over to the county, met with the county representatives, and they basically told us that it's not in their plan. They have no interest in this, which is unfortunate. That was the words my words were a little bit different, but yes, so I don't know why we're not doing this, because it'd benefit the county, the city of Huxley, everybody. But they do not want to budge on it.
Forrest, is that another $1 million? Do you have a guess?
It would basically double the dollar amount that that's in for the RISE funding. It would double that.
Even though we're not going as far, I mean, because we're going 2 roads with RISE.
Oh,
We're going
you're right, you're
south
right,
east
you're
west.
right, you're right. It would,
1.6.
yeah,
No. They're about half, so.
so yeah, that's what, so take
1.4.
take half of what it is and double it, I think, close,
About 2/3.
2/3,
Yeah, because we're half an hour, 1,500 feet. I think.
east west, okay, so
I would
two,
just say.
2/3 of it.
Investigating. it
Thanks.
before we go further. I mean, not for the RISE grant, I'm okay with that, but. Before we go further into the project, let's see what we gotta do and let's get it back on the agenda, so we're not behind the 8 ball as usual.
Does it affect our grant ask if we want to do it now, or is,
That would not be RISE eligible
Okay.
to go south. It would be purely city,
Okay.
county expense.
Okay. Great comments. I do have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further comments on that? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mulder,
Yes.
Rigler,
Yes.
Etcher,
Yes.
Roberts.
yes,
Murphy,
Yes.
Okay. Moving along this evening, any department reports? Heather, please.
I just wanted to remind you and invite you all to the ribbon cutting tomorrow at 4 o'clock for the splash pad. The Ames Regional Economic Alliances arranged that, so it's at 4 o'clock at the splash pad. On a secondary note, just so you know, we are planning on closing it for the year September 15th. And with that, Aquatics and Caliber Concrete come and train Rocky and I in how to do that. So, but tomorrow at 4, if you can come out, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. AEDC, anything from you folks?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Travis Tolliver with the Ames Regional Economic Alliance. I just want to give you a quick update on some of our efforts that we've been working on with the contract for the expanded business services with the city of Huxley. I've been focused on building relationships with local businesses, strengthening the communications between them, and laying the groundwork for impactful business resources and services. As far as business outreach and relationship building, I've met with numerous businesses and community leaders to introduce myself and learn more about their needs. Scheduled one-on-one and group meetings to ensure regular communication between them all. As far as events go, we coordinated a business participation in the Heart of Iowa Bike Trail event that happened last month, and it was a fantastic success. Our Huxley businesses were well represented and received on the bike trail, and thanks to the mayor and Councilman Rigler for attending that. We're also planning and promoting upcoming events, such as the splash pad ribbon cutting event that you just heard about happening tomorrow at 4. So hope to see you all there. Additionally, the Huxley Business Ice Cream Social, which is happening September 23rd at Fabled. The Learn Over Brunch event, which is an education event for our businesses, will be happening October 28th here at the library. The business breakfast, our annual business breakfast here in Huxley, will be November 20th at HuxCom. And finally, just today solidified that we'll be doing a holiday retail event December 4th through the 7th with local business owners. As far as marketing communications, you all should have received our very first Huxley Business and Community Alliance e-newsletter. It was sent out to not only you, but city staff, members of the HDC board, and local businesses on the business directory that we have email addresses for, and we're still building that list as we go. We've been partnering with the city, mainly with Heather and Parks and Rec, to work on the community calendar to make it an accessible calendar for everyone in the community. So if your Huxley-based business or organization has an event that they want the community to know about, they can actually go onto the community calendar on the city's website and submit their event for approval and to be placed on there, so we can have a one-stop shop when it comes to finding out what's going on in the city of Huxley. In addition to that, we've been sharing and encouraging cross promotion for businesses and events that are happening in Huxley on the city's Facebook page, and that has been a tremendous success as well. We've also been assisting businesses to learn more about the city's grant program and identifying opportunities to connect resources there. And we are beginning to work on a Shop Local campaign called Shop Huxley First, trying to promote folks within the community to consider shopping their local businesses before going elsewhere for their needs. I've engaged with the Ballard School leadership to explore collaboration opportunities between the schools and the business community in Huxley, as well as meeting with major employers and organizations such as HuxCom to secure investment and support for these efforts. So I think we're off to a great start. There's more to come, certainly, but we certainly appreciate your support. The momentum is strong, and just my big thanks to you for your support, but also to city staff David and his team have been a tremendous help in getting things started here, and really looking forward to seeing what's next. So stay tuned.
Great. Thank you very much, Travis. I certainly want to acknowledge and appreciate all the work that you and your team do. So it does not go unnoticed. So thank you. Forrest, anything this evening?
Nothing this evening.
Aaron? Thank you, ma'am. Barb?
One final reminder, election papers are due a week from Thursday, September 18th by 5:00 PM. We will be open until 5 that day. So your papers along with 25 signatures are due that day.
Thank you very much. David?
I don't have anything else this evening. Nothing this.
Mr. Mulder?
Nothing, thank you.
Yeah, Forrest, I know you were gone last meeting. There was just some questions or I guess point of clarification on the plat four grading and how that was measured or if it was complete yet. So I don't know. I might be able to catch up with you after the meeting, or I don't know if you wanted to speak to that now.
I mean, I reviewed it, and it's complete. I mean, the goal was for that to be a mobile berm, there in the northeast side. And I went and looked at that, and it's a mobile berm.
Yeah, Rory said it, and I guess I'll reiterate the similar point. Some of the landowners were questioning what that means and if there were specific measurements that were taken. And I just told them honestly, I don't know what those measurements are. Like, I don't know the measurable standard.
It's a 3-to-1 slope.
Okay.
I have nothing.
I just have can I get an update on 69? So rumors, right? If they're not at a certain stage, then they have to stop for the winter. I'm assuming we're past that. They are good to go.
Well, there was some discussion that they were behind. They kind of indicated to the DOT and everybody when they thought they would be finished. They've actually made some pretty good progress. They've got the first lift of the turn lanes on the east side of 69 were put down today. They've got the curb and gutter has been poured on the west side. Chris had talked this morning at HDC. If all goes well, the turn lanes should all be done by next Wednesday, and then they'll shorten those lights. That light that's to the north will move further south down toward Sheldalls, and they'll get started on the first piece of the roundabout, or the first half of the roundabout. The storm sewer continues to go in. They're making really good progress. So, I mean, it's starting to come together. I think they're hopeful if the weather holds, with the concrete crew that they've got and with Manats, I'm hopeful that they'll get it done this year.
So what is their deadline?
Originally, there was talk around the first part of November, but with the DOT saying that 210 is going to open around Thanksgiving, I mean, I think as long as the weather holds, I think they'll give them a little bit of a grace. But if winter comes in quicker than we expect, they have to be back open to 2 lanes for this winter. So I haven't heard a definitive. There was the first part of November, but they've got their own projects going until the end of November. So.
Thanks. And then the follow-up for North Second, did we finish that out yet? Do we have a bid back on that? I can't remember.
They are,
Sidewalk and
they're working on, so we'd got some estimated cost. They're working on getting the design done. The hope is to go out for bid late fall, early winter, so we can have construction first thing in the spring.
and that is clear from 69 clear to the school, getting all those pieces connected.
That has the second, is that Second Avenue?
Yeah.
And then sidewalk on 4th and 5th.
Okay.
And based on the estimates that we saw, I told Jeff that just get them all designed because we should be able to pay for it.
Okay. Yep. I just want to make it a nice connection
Yep.
all the way through to the school. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Roberts. Dave, just one follow-up comment on the South 120, the 69. Their ability to occupy any of the buildings in the South 120 is contingent upon 69 getting completed. Is that correct?
That is correct. They have to have all the work on 69 complete, but they haven't started anything on the electric or fiber yet. So that's gonna have to be done as well. So.
Perfect. Well, that will conclude our regular business meeting for this evening. We do have a work session this evening with one item. And that is a discussion on a mini traffic study, the results thereof regarding a roundabout at 560th and First Street. Forrest, is this yours?
I'll start with one little piece before Forrest gets up, but I did speak with Anastasia, with the developer, or with DR Horton. And we talked this afternoon. It looks as though they're anticipating their first phase would be about 40. They'll put the infrastructure in for 40 lots. It would probably be that south piece because they've got the stormwater detention that has to go there. They're estimating that they'll build about 35 homes a year. So it's about a 5-year build out is what they're looking for. Be several phases. So she wanted me to share that with you, and I made her aware of the mini traffic study as well. And I'll turn it over to Forrest.
So thank you, Mayor and Council. I think in your packets should be this little memo. I brought extra copies if anybody needs that. And so that intersection of 560th and East First, if you've driven out there lately, it's not a nice normal T intersection. It's like that. So it's a very skewed angle. And the concern is that with the development going in out there, that's going to generate traffic coming into that current intersection. And with that traffic, ideally, we would put in a roundabout for a couple reasons. Not necessarily because the traffic loads will be a lot higher, but because concerned about the traffic on East First. They get going pretty good clip as they're going out of town or coming back into town from Cambridge. And then, so this will act as a calming device. And then also, it's for safety. So we don't have, with that intersection like this, it's kind of hard to see at a stop sign when you're looking back. You hit that post of the back of your window. And so there can be issues with somebody pulling out and not having the visibility. So that's the reasonings that we're recommending a roundabout for that intersection. We looked at this mini report. What it looked at is looking at looking at the development that would occur in the 4 quadrants and really the southwest quadrant. There isn't much land there that could be developed in the southwest. And so it's really primarily southeast, northeast, and northwest, which is Huxley Heights. Horton Homes would be in the northwest. And so we kind of looked at it a couple different ways, and based off of the traffic being generated at that intersection, we came up with somewhere between recommendation of somewhere between 36 and 38%, or just a little over a third of the cost being contributed to development at Horton Homes. This roundabout would not necessarily need to go in day one. You know, the traffic won't be there necessarily if they do it in 5 phases over a number of years, but shouldn't be the last phase. Ideally, it's the first phase, but if we want to have that be second or third or something, could do that. But the more homes you get out there, the worse it's going to be. And now you're disrupting the traffic for the new people that just moved in. So, so that's kind of where we're at. Horton Homes did provide costs for the roundabout, and we looked at those, and they seemed reasonable, around $676,000 project cost for the roundabout. Also don't want to forget about 560th. So 560th north of East First is gravel right now. And so that would need to be paved as part of this development. But the east half is undeveloped, so what we would ask them is to pay for half of 560th, and their estimate is $342,000 for 560th, and those appear to be fairly reasonable cost estimates. So if you take, I don't know, didn't bring my calculator. 36% of 676 or 37% of 676. Plus half of 342. 37%. Plus 171, that would be Horton's share. So city's share would be roughly $1 million minus that.
So Dave, my question is the county gonna kick in on this at all? Because a lot of that traffic is coming from county traffic, county.
Non-Huxley.
Yes, non-Huxley. All the Oak Boulevard coming out of Huxley is county. All the traffic from like my area coming out is gonna be county. All the other like Dream Lake, whatever it's called, that's all county. There's quite
Most
a,
of people come down
and,
around the lake and come down. It's a shortcut to avoid Huxley.
but yes, and go out that way. So again, I'm falling back on, is the county gonna help us out here at all?
My guess is, based on what we've been told for 560th, probably not. Not that we couldn't ask, but I think they're gonna look at us and say that the development that's driving it is ground that's being annexed into the city and the growth of the city.
So the east side of 560th is the county though.
That was, it's actually the city limits.
That's still in the city? Okay.
That is in the city. I mean, all four, three of the four quadrants, other than Kaufman's, are in the city limits. So the northeast, the southeast, and then this northwest are all in current city limits of the city of Huxley.
I still think we should at least ask, because it's becoming a factor here that we're doing all the development here, we're paying all the money, and they're getting basically all the benefits of this.
Maybe we need to put up a bill complaining about it, or they can see it, make it public. That might shame them into doing something.
I'm happy to go back and ask or make a request for it.
I just wanted to clarify one thing, because I think it was 2 meetings ago. We talked about if there was a cost share percentage. In this estimate, is Huxley Heights considered the entire northwest quadrant?
Yes.
Okay, so any undeveloped stuff that's adjacent to them was not included in that northwest
Correct.
portion? Okay,
Correct. We did not include anything west of Huxley Heights or
Okay.
anything north.
okay, that was a question I had. And then I think I looked on Beacon, and is it the same estate that owns the northeast and southeast quadrants, those 2 fields?
Same property owners?
Yeah. I guess it doesn't matter, but is the ask that the city pay the remaining balance? Or I thought at one point there was a discussion of whether or not the adjacent property owners would share a third, if it was like a third.
I think when those areas would develop to the northeast and the southeast, that there would need to be an agreement that they would then reimburse the city for their expense.
Okay, I couldn't remember where we landed on that, and do either of the Daves remember? I know it was brought up as a question.
Normally, that's what would happen. If that goes to be developed, I think as part of them being able to develop, it would just be based on whatever they're developing, they would get their share of what was left in order to get approval to go forward.
Aaron, can you comment on that at all? Can we hold that cost for a later date to those adjacent property owners that benefit from this or not?
Well, I think if they're asking for incentives from the city, certainly yes. We can use it as part of the agreement process, and I would envision that's how we would do it. I think we talked about at the last meeting, if we are truly just trying to assess against the property, that procedure is gonna be troublesome because we aren't able to give those advance notices. So, but I do, if we're envisioning development in that space, then I think we do it as part of a development agreement.
We could as part of, yeah, as a development agreement. If they wanted to go do their own thing, it'd be pretty tough unless we assess the property and then they take ag deferment, but we could still go through that process.
Yeah, as long as we do all the noticing up front. Yeah.
So correct me if I,
If you got a break, I'd love to.
Offer a comment.
Please, Mr. Mulder.
Yeah, so I just think about some of the other developments we've done in town, including the Anthem 120 and other stuff. Those intersections, improvements, roundabouts and stuff there. How have we split the cost of these other developments and interchange of useless intersection improvements? This is costs ahead of those projects because they were driven by the development. Just like this project's being driven by the development. I would just like to treat all of that equally.
So I think I heard that. Well, could you repeat it again?
Yeah, so I think his question is, for example, the South 120, the roundabout that's going in there, I believe Mr. Gardner is probably paying 100% of that cost. I think Mr. Mulder is saying, how is that different than maybe this one? Or he's wanting to make sure everybody's being treated equally, so.
I would say if that's, the DOT made that requirement for the turn lanes as well as that roundabout. Is probably the biggest factor.
so state highways.
I mean, the city didn't require that. That was the DOT. And then the DOT, the only thing that we required along 69 was the trail and the upsizing of the sanitary. The turn lanes and the storm sewer and the roundabout were all pretty much things the DOT said had to be there for this to take place.
Yeah, those requirements were not city driven.
Which is kind of what we're having is we have some new development coming in from Horton Homes that it's going to add a lot of traffic and to this intersection. I think we're asking based off of the geometrics and everything else that there needs to be improvements on this intersection. And the decision was made by someone a roundabout. So I just want to make sure we're treating all our developers in town similarly.
I'm trying to think of other examples. You know, we had, for example, Don Van Howling, he put in a trail and curb and gutter on the east side of 560th, but that was only on his side of the street. I think we have a little short piece of Oak Bend Road that Steve Quick did pay 100% of. It wasn't very long, but it was a little short piece. Yeah, that Steve did pay 100% of those short pieces as part of his development. I can't think of any other examples.
Would we be talking about this intersection if it was not for the development?
Probably not. The traffic wouldn't just be enough traffic out there to justify it. Councilman Mulder, I did look at the traffic counts out there. You know, and I noticed the 3,430 counts on East First up to 560th, but I think doesn't hold up when you get to that interchange. I think that's more closer to Highway 69 because it drops down to 1200 as you go east of 560th, and the cars aren't disappearing. I think they're disappearing in town and not carrying out to 560th. So if you look at the traffic counts, I think their DOT segment is just too long and not broken up.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure. Yeah, if this is being driven by the development, that we treat all our developers in town the same, that's all I'm asking for, and I think in some of the others, we've asked the developers to pay 100%. Thanks for that history too, Forrest. And I don't know what we did, for example, there's a Timber Lane extended out to Iron. What is that on the north side of town behind the golf course? Who paid for 100% of that road extension out to that development?
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about different, I just want to treat all of my developers the same.
Right. Yeah, that was, but you're right. The road Timber Lane out to Iron Bridge was paid 100% by the developer. But that wasn't necessarily a requirement of the city. That was actually something the developer wanted to do to encourage sale of the lots out there. So that wasn't a requirement of the city to have that paved.
Thanks for that.
Boy, you're making me test my memory here.
Is there other options other than a roundabout? I mean, is there a more economical way to go and still achieve the same thing? Or is a roundabout a hard fast, that's what we gotta do?
No, it's not. We could go with four-way stops out there. Could do that. Probably could do traffic signals out there. I don't know that the traffic signals necessarily would be warranted right away, but you could look at both of those. Those would be a lot cheaper alternatives. Well, stop signs would be. I don't know if signals would be. Traffic signals would not be cheaper, but the four-way stop would be. I mean, that's.
4x4s.
Yeah. But again, that's, four-way stop would be another option.
The only thing we gotta realize with the four-way stop is this is a major thoroughway to the school. So you got a morning traffic, and you got an afternoon traffic, which is gonna be detrimental. Yeah, the morning traffic would be the one I would worry about, not the afternoon, but the morning traffic would be the ones you have to worry about, because you have a lot of buses going back and forth between Huxley and Cambridge. But other than that, I don't see a problem with going to the four-way stop, but we gotta really consider the school.
Yeah,
I'm just not sure that a roundabout and four-way stop in Iowa is really any different. Most people use a roundabout as a four-way stop, so it's just a circular four-way stop versus a rectangle four-way stop.
Yep, other than you do keep traffic moving through the roundabout, but
In theory.
yeah. And if it gets too full, then start slowing down.
It is a headache for your snowplows.
Yes.
So I'm just telling you that. So, but it does do what it's looking for as far as keeping the traffic flow and slowing it down. So right now out there is 55. So we'll have to change the speed limit probably to at least a very maximum of 45.
Right.
So,
Which is what 560th is going south. 40 going south, that's right.
For what it's worth, the northern edge of the Des Moines Metro has embraced roundabouts, or did at one point, and I traverse through many of those every day, and I certainly do prefer them to a four-way stop. I know that might not be the common opinion, but I do find them faster to get through than a four-way stop personally, so.
I would say that the city of Ames did not do a real good job of sizing up 3 roundabouts on South University there. You have no choice but to put it neutral and wide around there because it's not light enough. Different.
Any additional comments for Forrest this evening?
I just want, do we have to make a decision then? Because I guess I hadn't thought maybe just a stop sign at this point, which I do think will back traffic up a lot.
Would turn lanes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Would turn lane turn lanes be probably necessary with a four-way?
Might be. Yeah, I don't know. There might need to be, but I think it's all your east-west traffic that you're gonna bring to a stop. Your turn lanes to go south on 560th. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess what I offer up. Opposed to a roundabout at all. I know the safety factors that go with them. I drove through 4 of them yesterday and they were very efficient and kept traffic moving. So I'm not opposed to that. I guess it's when it comes down to the cost split, I just want to make sure we're, whether we're 50-50 or if we've made developers in the past pay for 100%, then I just want to stay consistent there. That's all I like on it.
Yeah, Greg, I guess on that discussion point, that's really why I was asking the question about the share is I was under the impression, or at least since I've been on council, that's how we handled it with Chris's. So if it's the development prompting the roundabout, which it sounds like it. From the explanation, I think a roundabout makes more sense than a stop. Just why would the share be different, or why wouldn't we attribute the cost to the developer?
But I think the slight difference, if I can jump in, on 69, those roads don't currently tee into Highway 69. Those tees in, or whatever you want to call those, the east-west streets that will now connect to 69, those are not there today. They'll be added. So with that connection, there's going to come some traffic signal devicing. I think that's distinctly different from what we have on East First Street, for what that's worth.
I think that's a very good point. Yeah, that those were not existing interchanges that are being changed like we're looking at here.
So the roundabout that we're looking at, is it sized right? Are we making a teeny
Yep.
tiny roundabout or?
We haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay. So how do we know the cost if we don't even?
Well, ballpark it.
Okay.
This is a work session, and typically I give public the opportunity to make any comments that they wish during a work session. Mr. Quick, is there anything that you'd like to add this evening? If you would, please.
Thank you, John, for bringing up the questions, because that were my questions too. I question the need for a roundabout. Respect for information there that the road doesn't come up at a 90, but he's got to pave that anyway. So that can be straightened when it's paved.
560th.
Correct. Where it comes into East First. I did it many times in my development. Required, so it can be done. So that's a 90-degree into East First. What I didn't see taken into consideration, which was mentioned, was the amount of traffic that goes through that intersection right now. There's a lot of traffic that goes through that intersection, because I go through that intersection. And so to make the developer and the adjacent property owners pay for that 100%, even if it be over years, somebody else is getting benefit from that. So it shouldn't be solely, because I know I'm a developer, I get to pay for everything. But it's because outsiders are using that, there should be outside money that comes in to pay for that. The only other thing I heard tonight was that the developer is only required to pay for half of the paving on 560th.
That's what I proposed, but this is a work session.
So I would have to strongly oppose that way, because I've had to pay 100%. So, and so, you know, it's to his benefit. The only reason that road has to be put in is because of his development. And, you know, if the city so decides that it needs to be a roundabout, it's my opinion, because I've had to do it. Chris has had to do it. He gets to pay 100%. Wouldn't be there if it wasn't for him doing a development. Now, if you come up with four-way stop, I'm good with that. That traffic goes by that intersection. I mean, there was a gal almost killed there. It's probably been 6-7 years ago. It's a bad intersection. So, and I understand, Rory, that you're gonna slow things down because of it, but I think it needs to be slowed down. So, thank you.
So the elevation of that intersection at the current status is a problem also.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yes,
Oh, it's
yes. So
terrible.
that's one of the problems that will probably be addressed by Forest, no doubt. Cause you could, with that elevation, you couldn't put a roundabout.
No,
But again, I would encourage staff to at least talk to the county, because I think the county should be paying part of some of this. Because a lot of that traffic, like you're coming off it and people from all around the northeast coming up uses that road to go out to 69 or,
the traffic that comes by my house.
yes,
Going down Oak Bend
so.
and goes around and goes down 560th.
But I'm in total agreement with you, Steve, that we should probably look at reevaluating what the contractor pays.
Mhm.
So.
Thank you.
Appreciate your comments, Mr. Quick. Anybody else from the public? Doubt it, wishing to comment on this? Okay, so what I would like to provide to staff is some direction here. Let's start with maybe the easier topic, which is 560th. That'll need to get paved to the extent of the development. So that would be north as far as the development gets developed. Is the direction to staff to have the developer pay 100% of the 560th paving, or only half because only half is their side, and then the city pays the other half? Or what are your thoughts on 560th only?
I don't know if we need a direction yet, because we really haven't seen the plat coming in if things are gonna change. I mean, I think we need to have kind of an idea, but I don't know that we should get anything set in stone at this point. But TIF could be utilized.
I say, could we TIF it and use that to pay for the other half?
Good, yeah, absolutely.
Any concerns with that approach?
Comment I would offer is the 560 south at first, when we paid some of that, what did we do with some of those? With the end of Van Howard's up there at First Street, they really undeveloped. Part of those or not? That
I believe what I understood of that is when we paid 560, it was the city going south from First Street down to where Van Halen had already paved, or whoever paved to the current pavement south. However that was, you took that bend out and you straightened it out and went south. How was that handled? Who ended up paying for what?
So 560th was 100% paid for by the city. There was not assessments to the adjoining property owners, and the adjoining property owners did not pay anything. Yes, the county paid. I'm sorry, the county did, but the property owners did not. The county did. Yeah, the curb and the gutter and the trail Don paid for, and I think that was paid through TIF of the development.
The only thing that he got, I thought for TIF, was maybe the rock under
the pavement.
the pavement. I thought was the only thing that I remembered hearing. Maybe curb, but I don't know. I had heard the rock was the main thing.
Maybe.
Last one curve.
No, he didn't ask for anything on the second phase.
Another job at interpreting my question and answering. That was paid out by the city. I'm okay with the city. Somebody just development. 25 feet north, is there some on the intersection? I don't know what the right bridge is, because that thing I discussed that wherever we all agree on, that's probably the land.
If I can decipher the phone call, the rest of you, I believe what he said. That, looking at how we pay 5/60 going north, he's okay with whatever we decide of what the ratio would be of how we decide to pay for it, if I understood that correctly. So we're all on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to look then if what our options are. Can we figure if we have to straighten it out and we do a two-way stop? Two lanes, like, should we just be looking at all the different costs and options, or is that opposed to that, or what?
The issue with what Steve suggested of we basically rotate 5/60th. You have to create a kind of a snake. So your 5/60th coming north, that's gravel, you'd have to swing that out and bring it in. And 5/60th that's coming in from the south, you'd have to swing kind of, or curve that in and go, can't easily straighten it. You're gonna have to get a lot of extra ground from somebody to do that.
And even with a stop sign type design, you're probably regrading all of that, correct? To take the bank away?
Yeah,
I would
right.
imagine. So you're going back east and west,
Right.
a distance, whatever that
Yes.
is.
So I'm not saying that can be done, but it's.
It hasn't changed much though. As Roaring stated, that's gonna have to be totally cut and reshaped in order to put a roundabout in, because I mean, that's just like a racetrack bank going around that corner.
The 5/60th going north, is that pavement only, no curb and gutter? That's a rural section, not an urban section? Is that what you're picturing?
No, we were doing that. Urban section.
Urban section, both sides. Curb and gutter, both sides. Okay.
I believe that's right. I think that's right. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think so. Yeah.
So my recommendations would be that A1, and I know it probably is a call that is just gonna be a lost call, but contact the county.
Go up to board supervisor meeting.
Yeah, and I'm more than happy to go with you. But I think we should at least try that again. But I'm not opposed to the roundabout. I don't think that they should have the 100% cost on it. Because the benefits are gonna be to not only the development, but that's my opinion on it.
Okay. Mr. Murphy?
I would second your opinion. I'd say when we go talk to the county, we talk about all the 5/60th all the way south, also the south half mile also. Include that in the conversation, because all of that is a benefit to the county as well as the city. And will be used by multiple users, not just City of Huxley. As far as the roundabout, I don't know that I have enough information to make a decision on what that is. But I would like to see some alternatives to what are they? Maybe they are completely not feasible, but I'd hate to throw them out the door till I at least explored them a little bit further to see what our options are there. And then I can negotiate with what we got to do from there.
I would agree with John on that. I think that's a great idea. At least then you have all your options laid out so we can see them and the money.
Yeah, if we get all the options, and then that'll give us an opportunity to look at what we did for other developer agreements too. I still agree with Greg. I think we should try and be as consistent as possible. I get that the DOT in 69 it's not exactly apples to apples, so that should be considered. But at least look at how the other developer agreements came together and use that to help inform the decision.
Appreciate all those comments. The last comment that I'll add is I don't favor a model where we begin the development and then a couple years later address the intersection and tear it up. That's a approach that many communities take for various reasons, and they build up both sides of a road that's 2-lane and an urban rural section, and then they close that down and inconvenience all those people that just moved there, and it drives me nuts. I understand why it happens, but if we can do anything to avoid that, I think that would benefit everybody. So with that, do you have some direction, Dave, or do you need better, clearer direction for us?
No, I think you're looking at what do the options look like to make that into a T intersection? Maybe look at a rough cost what traffic signals would be. And, the 4-way stop is easy. Turn lanes maybe, but yeah, we can look at that.
Sounds great. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody's time this evening. With that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Give me-
offer a motion.
I'll give you a
Motion by-
second.
Motion by Rigler, second by Ms. Roberts. All those in favor, please respond to the aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much for your time this evening. The next meeting is September 23rd. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Underwater talk.
Yeah.
It was pretty clear at first and then it
Yeah.
felt like every